It's the guts and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the Pledge of Allegiance on the 4th of July. It's them handwritten letters from home. It's them sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down his life. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Hey. From the fields of Indiana to the swamps of Louisiana, to the golden coast of California, Uncle Sam's the only family he's got. His purple heartbeat won't stop, and his 18th birthday was the day he was born. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down his life. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Marching line, hey, hey.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here on this Thursday night. It is the Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Summer Season Week number 11 of 12 here tonight at the Cedar Lake Speedway. It is now time for your top-notch trucking 358 modifieds. We are live again here on Ultimate Dirt TV, live across the social media pages, and also live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. And cannot wait for what is the second last round of the series. Good evening, race fans. Brett Wheeler with you for the call as we get set for a doubleheader here from the Cedar Lake Speedway. The penultimate round of the season. What is round number 11, or week number 11 of 12, I should say. Next week, a very special week when it comes to tributes and throwback paint schemes. Really looking forward to that one. But first, for tonight, here from the Cedar Lake Speedway, again, we are ready to roll over into the first heat race of the evening. No qualifying on the program, just a straight up random heat races. There will be 3 heat races on the program and a field of 22 drivers, ladies and gentlemen. Heat race number 1 will line up like this, starting on the pole position. Driving car number 39, that is Patrick Spangler, and he's outside. Driving car number 64, that is Joseph Grandy. Rolling off out of position number 3 will be the 122 of Brian Dickens to his outside, the 513 of Jeffrey Barker from 4. Going from the 5th starting position, driving the 200 machine, that is Jeff Flaro to his outside. Driving the Dirt Track Banks GY6RN, car number 31 car of Brandon Templeton. And your 4th and final row from the inside out of position number 7, driving the 007 AMR, that is Michael Vecchio, and he's outside. Driving the Venom Racing Super Dirt Car Series, car number 5, Isaac Salas will line up out of position number 8. We get ready for the first of 3 heat races here on the program. But again, week number 11 of your Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder the small block modifieds, the 358s, followed by your big block modifieds. Looking forward to this one. Spangler on the pole position, alongside Joseph Grandy. We see Grandy normally in the 518 machine, but he's already got that Upper Auto Parts 64 out. And could that be the paint scheme going back to what will be the throwback next week? Here we go. Heat race number 1 is underway. It'll be Spangler to lead him down into turn number 1 and 2. Dickens to the inside right now. Off turn 2 to the outside goes Joseph Grandy. 3 wide for the battle for 4th, 5th and 6th position. Give that spot to Barker. And here comes Isaac Salas trying to work through the middle of the racetrack, giving a little bit of a push there to the 513. But Brandon Templeton now goes down to the low side, down into turn number 3 and 4. Barker to the outside. Salas trying to come back through the middle. Oh boy, Salas made contact there with Barker. Barker, Templeton, contact. They keep it going, but no yellows in the heat races. Meanwhile, there's a change up for the race leaders. Joseph Grandy goes to the outside and Patrick Spangler down through turn number 3 and 4. Joseph Grandy, you've got a new leader there at heat race number 1. After the 3rd lap is complete, Spangler may have to move up a lane if he wants to get back by. We'll have a chance at getting by the 64 car of Joseph Grandy. Dickens still rides in that 3rd position. Everybody transferring to the main event. A field again, like I said, a field of 21 drivers in attendance here for what is week number 11 of your Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder. But right now, the top-notch trucking 358 modifieds are on the racetrack here at the Cedar Lake Speedway. Coming to 2 to go. For Joseph Grandy in car 64, Spangler's now going to change his line through turns 3 and 4. We'll see if Spangler can find a way by the 64 car of Joseph Grandy for the race lead. Doesn't look like a Grandy, just looks a little too strong there on the exit of turn number 2. They'll come to the white flag. 1 lap left to run here in the opening heat race of the night. Grandy through the middle, he goes just above the slick. Spangler's working it to the top shelf through 1 and 2, down into 3 and 4. Final time. Checkered flag waves here in heat race number 1. Joseph Grandy gets the win. Patrick Spangler will come home in 2nd position. 3rd will go to Brian Dickens. fourth is going to be Jeff Floro. Isaac Seller's going to come home in fifth. We'll take a look at your results after 8 laps. Grady, Spangler, Dickens your top 3. Floro and Sellis your top 5. Vecchio, Templeton and Parker for the drivers to make up in heat race number 1. Heat number 2, drivers line up like this. It's the 18 machine of Logan Wentz to the pole position. To the outside of the front row, it's the 32, Anthony Morano from position number 2. Second row inside from position number 3, the 011 of Randall Dixon. To his outside, the 7 of Bob the Good lines up at a position number 4. Position number 5, with the KISS 97 car of Butch Baker. To his outside, it's the 11 of Kelly Wheeler from 6. Your 7th and final starter driving the 9 car, the Super Dirt Car Series Venom Racing entry of Brian Lawson will make up the 7 cars in heat race number 2. 7 cars in heat 2, 7 cars in heat race number 3 as well. And like I said, a field of what is 22 drivers in attendance for your penultimate round of the series. And welcome everybody live to Ultimate Dirt TV and live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Can we look forward to having your company here all night long. Logan Wentz, Anthony Morano, safety car goes fast down the front straightaway. He'll take a very, very quick exit in turn number 1. And the green flag waves here in the second heat race of the night. Wentz has got him, and here comes Morano to the outside as they go 3 wide. Baker going to get turned around there. Lawson involved in that one, but it's going to be Anthony Morano there to lead the opening lap. The winner of heat race number 2 will start outside the pole position of your 30-lap A main event. Bob the Good getting into the back of Logan Wentz. Logan Wentz goes around. Lawson and Baker now get back, or they get by Logan Wentz, I should say, is Kelly Wheeler to the inside of Bob the Good down into turn 1 and 2. Dixon finds himself in the runner-up position, but Morano continuing to lead the way here in the second heat race. 3 heat races on the program here at this virtual Cedar Lake Speedway. Morano halfway in heat race number 2, still watching Kelly Wheeler along with Bob the Good. Wheeler in the 11, to Good in the 7. Back to Brian Lawson in position number 5. The 97 of Butch Baker in 6. Logan Wentz back in 7th. But it's a 1.1, yeah, about a 1.1 second lead it was for Anthony Morano with just 2.5 to go. Dixon looking to close in, but right now, that Super Dirt Car Series car number 32 car just looks way too strong out in front here in heat race number 2. Coming to the white flag for Anthony Morano. Have a good shot at your win tonight in the 30-lap main event. He's just going to navigate down into the final 2 left-hand turns into turn number 3. Hop, turn number 4. Checkered flag is out. Heat race number 2 is done. The win will go to Anthony Morano. Second will go to Randall Dixon. Third at the line is going to be Kelly Wheeler. Bob the Good comes home in 4th. Brian Lawson rounds out your top 5. Butch Baker in 6th. And Logan Wentz will come home in position number 7. But that is heat race number 2. Those results will be official. There they are. Morano, Dixon, Wheeler, your top 3. DeGood and Lawson round out your top 5. And then Baker and Wentz to make up your top 7 drivers. Heat number 3, third and final heat race of the night. The 72 of Zach Chapman on the pole position. The 88 of Dan McLaren from position number 2. From position number 3 in the King Race Designs Full Throttle Motorsports Super Dirt Car Series entry, that is Dean Reynolds. And to the outside, the Venom Racing car number 93, Jason Butterfield from 4. From position number 5 will be the 28 car of Jeff Sharp. And to the outside from 6, from the Dirt Track Bank GY6RN, that is Kurt Schatzer. And your 7th and final starter, driving car number 83 for Swan Speed Shop, that is Dylan Kinsey. Dylan Kinsey in car number 83 from 7. So as they work down into 1 and 2. We wait for the lights, and we wait for, more importantly, the safety car to exit back to the pit area. That indeed it does. You can see he picks up the pace. Well, speaking of picking up the pace, we'll go green. The green flag drops. The BS stops and the pace gets picked up as Dan McLaren dives down to the inside, down into turn number 1. He's got the lead off for turn number 2. Meanwhile, Butterfield to the outside of the purple and white 79 machine. That's the King Race Design 79 car of Dean Reynolds. So work down through the first turn. It's McLaren to lead lap number 1 from Zach Chapman. Jason Butterfield has got himself into position number 3, but drifts it up high, wide and hits him in the middle of turn number 3 and 4. He'll come back at Dean Reynolds. I thought Reynolds may have had third at the line. 3 wide for a moment for 5th, 6th and 7th position. And now here comes Kurt Schatzer. Reynolds caught on the inside line. Schatzer looking to go to the outside, but Reynolds, now he's able to get upstairs, and he'll do that. Now here comes Kinsey to the inside of Dean Reynolds, looking for 4th position through turn number 1 and 2. He'll do the same down into 3 and 4. Cross flag sticks around halfway home here in heat race number 3. The third and final heat race of the night for the top-notch trucking 358 modifieds and Dylan Kinsey from 7th. He's now found his way to position number 4. Just rolls the inside of the racetrack. Boy, Dylan Kinsey, he's really making it work. Meanwhile, Kurt Schatzer now coming after Dean Reynolds with just 3 laps left to run. Reynolds starting to slip back. Schatzer starting to trying to go back forward once again. Schatzer gets a little shot in the shorts there from Dean Reynolds. Watching now the battle on for 2nd and 3rd position. The Butterfield, the 93 car, the pink, white and black entry. He's all over the back of the Scooby-Doo machine, trying to dive down to the inside, down into 3 and 4. Chapman will hold on to the runner-up position as the white flag will fly here in heat race number 3. Meanwhile, Schatzer and Kinsey, they work it side by side off turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Final time into turn number 3 and 4. Heat race number 3 is done and dusted. The win will go to Dan McLaren. 2nd will go to Zach Chapman. 3rd is going to be Jason Butterfield. Kurt Schatzer will grab 4th. 5th is going to be Dylan Kinsey. 6th will go to Dean Reynolds, and Jeff Sharp will come home in position number 7. We'll take a quick break here on Ultimate Dirt TV and on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Back with your main event up next.
How about the reverse for Lucy Olsen? She has her first point.
Yeah, Lucy Olsen, talented sophomore.
And we are back here on Ultimate Dirt TV and on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It is now time for your main event of the top-notch trucking 358 modifieds. Let's take a look at your starting grid. On the pole position with the 64 of Joseph Grandy. To the outside of the front row, the 32 of Anthony Morano. From position number 3 will be the 88 of Dan McLaren. To the outside from 4, the 39 of Patrick Spangler. From 5, the 011 of Randall Dixon. From 6, the 72 of Zach Chapman. From 7, the 122 of Brian Dickens. From 8, the 11 of Kelly Wheeler. From 9, the 93 of Jason Butterfield. From 10, the 200 of Jeff Flaro. From 11, the 7 of Bob DeGood. From 12, the 218 of Kurt Schatzer. From 13, the 5 of Isaac Sellers. From 14, the 9 of Brian Lawson. From 15, the 83 of Dylan Kinsey. From 16, the 007 Michael Vecchio. From 17, the 97 of Butch Baker. From 18, the 79 of Dean Reynolds. From 19, the 31 of Brandon Templeton. From 20th, the 18 of Logan Wentz. And the final row from a 21, that's the 28 of Jeff Sharp. And 22nd is the 513. That is Jeffrey Barker. 22 cars, 30 laps on the board. As the field slowly rumbles down the back straightaway. Gambler Motorsports, Thursday Night Thunder, Summer Season, Week number 11. Top-notch trucking, 358 modifieds, main event. Let's get dirty for 30 here at the Cedar Lake Speedway. As the field and the pace picks up, we're on the way down into turn number 1 and 2. Dan McLaren looking to the inside. He looked for the race lead. Look at this 3 wide just to the right of your screen from about that 5th, 6th and 7th position. And we go yellow. Dylan Kinsey in the 83. Let's have a look here at the replay. What happened? Oh, just cars just checking up. Oh, go back a little further. Just in front of a little further. So you see the 93 of Jason Butterfield on the front end picks up. There was some contact. Salas gets into the back of DeGood. And DeGood unfortunately goes around in that 7 machine, and here we go, first caution of the night, and just like that, we have the first yellow of the evening. So again, your main event of the top-notch trucking 358 modifieds here tonight from the Cedar Lake Speedway. For what is week number 11 of this series. Don't forget, we've still got the catalytic recovery big block modifieds to come on the program. Here we go. Back to green, back underway here at Cedar Lake.
No.
It's still going to be Joseph Grandy leading the way there to what will be lap number 2. Morano, now McLaren and Spangler go side by side. Spangler's got the advantage on the top of the racetrack down through 1 and 2, but McLaren got on the bottom off turn number 2 and down the back straight away. Spangler now going to have Zach Chapman try to cut back down to the inside off turn 4, and they do. They drag race to the start-finish line. Give the spot to Patrick Spangler, but not for long because Zach Chapman, boy, that is good on the bottom side through 1 and 2. It's just how to navigate the way through turns number 3 and 4. Chapman again in the Scooby-Doo machine looking for some snacks downstairs. Meanwhile, challenges up for the race lead. Morano trying to get by Joseph Grandy on the bottom side through 1 and 2. He'll follow suit down through that 3rd and 4th turn. 5 down, 25 to go. Grandy to the top shelf. Morano down to the low side off turn number 2. Now McLaren, Chapman, Spangler, Flaro coming after Spangler, or did and was coming after the 39 car, but now here comes the 218 of Kurt Schatzer now to the outside, nearly making some contact there on the front straightaway. Salas in the 5 machine, oh boy, problems! Flaro's going to go upside down, Bob DeGood involved again. That's your race leader. Well, the good comes out onto the track. Just gets into your race leader. Oh my. So that's a tough break right there. A very tough break for what was your race leader of Joseph Grandy. And that will now, of course, put the 32 car of Anthony Morano to the pole position with 7 laps complete. The field doubles up once again into rows of 2 by 2. Safety car comes down the front straight away very quick, which means we're going back to green. 7 down, 23 to run. And the top-notch trucking 358 modifieds here at the Cedar Lake Speedway. We're back to green. Chapman to the inside on Dan McLaren as they run side by side for the runner-up position. McLaren has it by probably half a car length at the start-finish line. Chapman good back down to the low side through 1 off turn number 2. McLaren way too good there on the exit. Now Spangler, keep an eye on Brian Lawson along with Isaac Sellers coming through the field. Lawson is up almost inside the top 5. He's in 6th position right now. Then Sellers is trying to come with the 9 machine. So both cars working to the top shelf, and you got probably 6 out of the top 8 cars a work on the top side through 3 and 4. A lot of them will do the same down into 1 and 2. Spangler to the outside there on Zach Chapman off turn number 2. Chapman has now got stuck on the low side. He was good in the opening, what was 5 or 6 laps of this exchange of the main event. But right now finding himself stuck on the bottom side, and if he's not careful, he may just get freight trained on the top side. He's got Kurt Schatzer, Brian Lawson, Isaac Sellers, and Brandon Templeton right there as well. So if he needs to get up, he needs to do it very quickly. He needs to force himself up into a situation to where he can get clear. And speaking of getting clear, the open up the opportunity right there as Schatzer now. Schatzer tries to come back at him on the inside off turn 4. We continue on here in the main event here at the Cedar Lake Speedway. Morano still leads right now from Dan McLaren in the 88. We're a lap away from half race distance. Schatzer into the wall just to your right of your screen. Top 3. Oh boy, look at that. Here we go. Down into 3 and 4. We're going to have a 3-way battle for the race lead. Challenges on at the halfway point. McLaren to the middle of the racetrack. Morano still the race leader. Work on the top side, right up on the cushion, trying to sell some t-shirts. Is that Training Wheels Racing number 39 machine to the outside? You've got a new leader down the front straight away. Dan McLaren will lead what is lap number 16. Just 14 laps left to go. Morano starting to slip back. Starting to slow there on the low side as everybody tries to freight train around the outside of the 32 car. Here comes Spangler, Chapman, Schatzer, Lawson, Sellers, Templeton. Choo-choo! 6 cars on the top of the racetrack. Spangler now looking for the runner-up position. He's got second. 12 laps left to run. And what a 6-car freight train you've got. Second, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, and 8th position. Spangler trying to come after McLaren. Spangler slowly starting to eat into that gap for the race lead. Schatzer, Lawson, Sellers, they have to be very careful. Chapman just got into the wall. Oh boy, McLaren nearly got turned by the 39 car of Spangler, with Spangler just kept the front bumper off the rear bumper. Meanwhile, here he comes once again. We've got 10 to go. Make it 9 down into turn number 3. Turn 3 off turn 4. 9 remaining here at the Cedar Lake Speedway. Looks to be closing in on the slower car, the 17th runner of, it's the 83 car of Dylan Kinsey. And we'll have 8 laps left to run. Meanwhile, Morano got some company with Zach Chapman to the inside off turn number 4. Top 3 now go to the top side into 1 and 2. Chapman runs the low side. Spangler, when does he pull the trigger and go for the slider? Well, he's got to be a lot closer than that one. Another lap into the book. Slider there from Templeton on Lawson. Lawson goes back to 8th position. What a battle. Look at this. Your top 8 cars are on screen. Make it now top 6. Salas trying to go to the inside on Schatzer. Morano comes back 3 wide off turn number 4 if you don't mind for the runner-up position. Now Morano, he's pulled the finger out and he's pulled the trigger. Said, right, I think I've saved enough to try and get the job done. Chapman to the inside once again. Morano, Schatzer, wheel to wheel off turn number 4. Spangler now 3 wide once again down into turn number 1 and 2. Just a handful of laps remaining. Spangler coming after your race leader once again of Dan McLaren into turn number 3 and 4. What a battle you've got. Top 7 cars. You can really throw a blanket over them. There is about a second separating your top 7. Less than a second separating your top 6. Oh, problems. There's contact between Morano and Chapman and they keep it going. Meanwhile, challenges up for the race lead. 3 laps left to run here at the Cedar Lake Speedway. Spangler, McLaren, side by side off turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. McLaren's got it just. Here comes Salas trying to come through. A little bit of a door. Oh no! Spangler was almost going to lead that lap, you would say. But the yellow will come out with 3 and make it 2 to run. And that may have just robbed us of a grandstand finish here at Cedar Lake Speedway. Dan McLaren probably breathing a big, heavy sigh of relief. Schatzer and Morano back in 15th and 16th position. As the field paces behind the iRacing.com safety car. Morano, Schatzer now back in at 15th and 16th position. As Patrick Spangler, he has got his work cut out for him. The lights go out on the safety car, 1 to green. And with 2 laps left to run here in your A-Main, the top-notch trucking 358 modified portion of the evening. Your Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Summer Season Week number 11. Here we go. 2 laps left to run for Dan McLaren, and he got an absolute blinder of a start. He'll go to the low side, try and find the shortest way around this tight little racetrack known as Cedar Lake Speedway. Spangler goes down into 3 and 4. I think that is going to be enough for Dan McLaren to hold on to a victory here tonight. Down through the first and second turn for the final time and down the back straight away. Your main event winner here in the 358 Modifieds, the top-notch trucking 358 Modifieds. Your main event winner is Dan McLaren. An absolute fantastic showing here tonight for the top-notch trucking 358 Modifieds. Your feature results coming up on screen. Dan McLaren will get the win over Patrick Spangler. Zach Chapman comes home third. Isaac Salas in fourth. Fifth will go to Brandon Templeton. Jeff Floro in sixth. Jeffrey Parker, what should be your hard charger. Plus 15 positions. Brandon Templeton plus 14. That's a hell of a move by those 2 drivers. So Parker will be a hard charger in 7th position. Jeff Sharp in 8th. 9th will go to Michael Vecchio. Butch Baker rounds out your top 10. Dean Reynolds in 11th. Logan Wen, Dylan Kinsey 12th and 13th. Kurt Schatzer, Anthony Morano rounds out the top 15. Brian Lawson comes home 16th position. 17th, Jason Butterfield. 18th, Randall Dixon. Joseph Grandy and Brian Dickens, your top 20, with Bob DeGood coming home in position number 21. Chat to the man that comes home in 3rd place tonight, driving caliber 72. That is Zach Chapman. Zach, congratulations on this 3rd place finish here. And boy, I got to say, for about 15 or 20 of those laps just before that last yellow come out, man, it was a real battle between the top 7 or 8 cars. That must have been fun to be a part of.
Yeah, I definitely felt like it was definitely a lot of tough, hard racing there. Looking back at the replay there with Morano, sorry I got into him, but I mean, I had him clear by about almost a car length coming out of the corner, and you know, you don't expect somebody to get a run like that out of nowhere. And he bounced off the wall before he hit me. So I definitely wasn't trying to put him in the wall or wreck him there. So no ill feelings towards him, I hope.
Mate, for most part of that race, drivers were able to work the top side at the start and then back towards the end of that race. It looked like some of the guys sort of migrated back to the bottom. This track looked like it had a number of different lanes all throughout the course of this 30-lap main event.
Yeah, I feel like if you could put the car where you want to, you definitely wanted to be up high. But I mean, I seemed to make the bottom work. I dropped back there to fifth and got my way up to third there using the bottom. So I mean, you could do it if you had to, but it definitely wasn't easy to do down there.
Well, third place in the 358 modifieds. Of course, will we see you unload the big block modified here in a few moments' time?
I don't know yet. I haven't decided. I may go practice Watkins Glen here for that next gen race later.
Well, Zach, if we don't see you in the big blocks, good luck for the Watkins Glen race. But before we let you get out of here, we'll give you an opportunity to thank everybody involved on this 72 machine.
Yeah, thanks, Brett. I'd like to thank my wife for letting me do this all the time, my dad for helping sponsor, all my teammates, Gambler Motorsports, and the league, and especially Roger for getting this awesome group of guys together. It's a lot of fun to do this every night.
There we go, Zach Chapman home in position number 3. Home in second spot tonight, boy. It could have been. And that's all that it could have been, was just a thought. But home in second spot tonight is the 39 car of Patrick Spangler. Patrick, boy, I guess one that got away from you there in the end, and probably you didn't want that. You didn't want that last yellow with 2 to go.
Yeah, I was building momentum earlier in the race. So I was trying to get around. I was getting good runs at 1 and 2 on the top side, so I was trying to get along McLaren. And he went up there and just bunched up everybody on the top there, and I couldn't get around him. And then I was like, I got to try the middle, try to get around him. And then we were neck and neck, and then the caution came out. So he was getting me on the exit, so I don't know if I would have got him, but it was making for a good race. And I think that's Dan's first race back in like a month, and come out and win it. That's pretty cool. So he was on it tonight.
When you saw what was going through your mind when you seen that yellow come out, did you think that that was pretty much race done and dusted there, or did you think that in a 2-lap run to the end that you could have had something there for him at the end?
I don't think I have enough time to get the momentum built up for the top side and the small blocks. Maybe if he messed up, hit a tire or something, but I thought he was going to have a 2 to go. First thing I thought when that caution came out, I hurried up and looked at the last lap differential, see if I had him, but he had me at the line. So I knew Dan's usually pretty good and doesn't make too many mistakes. So it was a good one for him, and brought home a solid second. Hopefully wrap up the points next week, and I can't have a mess up. That's all.
Well, Patrick, you got a lot of racing tonight from modified to sprint cars, so we know we'll let you load up the 358 modified, unload the big block modified before we take a quick plane trip out to the Knoxville Raceway later on. But Patrick, before we let you get out of here, we'll let you thank everybody involved on this 39 car. Patrick?
Yep, sorry, push talk wasn't working. But yeah, just you and Ultimate Dirt TV, the awesome broadcast put up for Dirty Old Bastards and Coast to Coast Racing League and all the other leagues you do. Roger run the league, Terrenials Racing. I had Dan Uncle back home watching. My wife for letting me race.
There we go, Patrick Spangle, ladies and gentlemen, home in position number 2. Home in first place tonight is going to be the 88 car of Dan McLaren. And he finds himself on the top step of the podium. Dan, congratulations on this victory. And boy, I got to say, that was an entertaining race from start to finish.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Totally wasn't expecting that, though. I haven't been out here in over a month. But, yeah, it was a good turnout.
When you say you haven't raced in over a month, how do you just sort of come back and just get into the groove just so quickly and put this 88 machine up front? You didn't look like you missed a beat here tonight.
It helps when you have fast guys around you. You just see what they're doing and then just make your own adjustments and adapt, and hopefully it pays off.
Coming to 5 to go, Patrick was putting the moves there to you, outside, inside, and any which way possible to try and get by you. What was going through your mind at that point before that yellow come out?
Just keep it smooth. But if I think a couple more laps, or even coming to the white or checkered, it would have been pretty close at the finish. But kind of glad that caution came out because then it just put me on the bottom and I wasn't going to come up.
It was all about getting that final restart, and that's exactly what you've done. Dan, congratulations on this win. Before we let you go and celebrate this win in the Top Notch Striking 358 modifieds, we'll let you thank everybody involved on this 88 machine.
Yeah, absolutely. All the guys over at Venom Racing, VMR Wraps, Magnum Race Designs, Wildstar Custom Fabrications, all the guys behind the scenes for Coast to Coast, and you guys for the broadcast.
Dan, well done on the win. Hopefully we see you unload the big block coming up in a moment.
Absolutely. Thanks, man.
There we go, Dan McLaren, ladies and gentlemen, your winner here tonight from the Cedar Lake Speedway for the Top Notch Striking 358 Modifieds in Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Summer Season Week number 11 here from Cedar Lake Speedway. We'll take this opportunity right now to step aside here on Ultimate Dirt TV and step aside on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We'll come back with your big block modifieds up in probably about 10 minutes time.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
For Lucy Olsen, she has her first point.
Yeah, Lucy Olsen, talented sophomore.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racing enthusiasts all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. The car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and racing teams. Our skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly racing series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 200,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams, race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12-Hour. Participate in solo races, championship seasons, and hosted in league events with AI Racing. With a rapidly expanding catalog of 70-plus cars and 85-plus tracks from real-world racing series, test your abilities with challenging computer-based competition. Additional partners include IMSA, the World of Outlaws, and Supercars, allowing members to participate in their very own Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, Sebring 12-Hour, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
And we are back here on Ultimate Dirt TV and on the Coast to Coast Racing Network for your Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Summer Season Week number 11 here from the Cedar Lake Speedway. It is now time for your catalytic recovery big block modifieds on the program. We're just waiting for the practice to wrap up, and then we will get right into your randomized heat races. 3 heats on the program. Again, the field this time of 22 drivers in the field for tonight's second last round of the season. Good evening, race fans. Brett Wheeler once again with you for the call as we get ready to go through your your first heat race of the night. Again, we're just waiting for race control just to wrap things up here, and of course we will get into the big block modified portion of the night before and after this one. In fact, it will then be the NASCAR Next Gen Cup Series, where they will take to the Watkins Glen the Watkins Glen track. I believe Travis will have that call, but again, we'll find out who is on the call for that one in just in a few short moments' time. But right now, again, we wait for race control to give us the all clear to say let's go racing in race number 2 of 3 here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, on the Coast to Coast Racing League, and your Gamble Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder. Again, summer season week number 11 before next week. It will be the final week of the summer season. They'll take, I think, the plan is to take a week off, maybe a couple of weeks off, and then come back with the new season. I can confirm, yes, we're in talks to, of course, bring you all the action once again live here on Ultimate Dirt TV Live and on the Coast to Coast Racing Network for the next season for the dirt side of things here on your Thursday nights. So really thankful, really looking forward once again to coming back once again next season. But more importantly, I've got to get through not only tonight's big block race, but we've got to get through next week first. So we get ready. Cars are in the staging lane right now for heat race number 1 of 3. 8 laps to distance. Everybody will go through to the main event. Then, well, let's take a look at heat race number 1. Your lineup is like this. On the pole position, it's going to be the 218 of Kurt Schatzer. To the outside, the 93 of Jason Butterfield from 2. From 3 will be the 7 car of Bob DeGood. From 4, the 513 of Jeffrey Barker from 4. From position number 5, it's the 18 of Logan Wentz. From 6, a 31 of Brandon Templeton. And for the second time tonight, from row 4, inside and outside, exactly how they lined up, it's the 007 Michael Vecchio from 7, and Isaac Salas in the 5 from position number 8. So again, the field is going to get the 1 to green signal right now here at the Cedar Lake Speedway. What a beautiful racetrack this is. Your catalytic recovery. Big block modifieds here from Cedar Lake Speedway. Schatzer and Butterfield will be the drivers on the front row. 8 laps will be the distance. All starts on the iRacing green flag. As we get ready to go racing. Race number 2 of 3 here on this Thursday night. Your Thursday Night Thunder, Gambler Motorsports, big block modified. Thanks to catalytic recovery, we are green in heat race number 1. And Kurt Schatzer's got a good jump on the field, still over half a second lead already. Butterfield finds himself in the runner-up position, 3 wide. Here comes Templeton, was trying to go through the middle. It was not DeGood, sorry, that was Barker, who was on the outside. Speaking of going 3 wide through the middle, oh no, Templeton and Salas come together. Templeton goes around, he'll start from dead last. Charlie in the main event, provided nobody else. Finishes behind the 31 car as DeGood finds himself in the 4th position. 5th is Logan Wentz, now coming after Wentz right now. Here's Salas in the 5. He'll slide it up in front of the 18. Wentz turns it back underneath him now as they start and complete lap number 3. We'll start lap number 4. Salas is to the outside of Logan Wentz. He's gotten by him, and now Salas going to come after the 7 car, Bob DeGood. Meanwhile, Vecchio closing very quickly there on the 007 of the 18 car of Logan Wentz. Butterfield, meanwhile, chipping and chomping away at the race lead gap between himself and Kurt Schatzer. Schatzer in that 218 machine, 3 circuits to run here at Cedar Lake Speedway. Week number 11 of the summer season, Gambler Motorsports, Thursday Night Thunder. Schatzer still leads the way. Meanwhile, Salas now coming after and coming around the outside of Bob DeGood. Salas is going to have 4th position at the start-finish line. DeGood fights back on the inside. Salas back to the outside. They race down into turn number 3. Nearly making contact in the middle of 3 and 4. Coming to the white flag. 1 lap left to go. Butterfield. Oh no, Butterfield. He jumped it. He caught the wall. Trying to 50-50 grind into turns 3 and 4 we go. Checkered flag at the ready. Kurt Schatzer will get the win. 2nd will go to Jeffrey Barker. 3rd at the line is going to be Isaac Salas. Bob DeGood home in 4th. Michael Vecchio rounds out your top 5. 6th will go to Logan Wentz. Jason Butterfield, after running in the runner-up position, will now find himself in position number 7. And Brandon Templeton will come home in the 8th position. Heat number 1 results coming up on screen. There it is after 8 laps. Schatzer, Barker, Salas, your top 3. DeGood, Vecchio, your top 5. Butterfield, Wentz, and Templeton will be the 8 cars to contest what was heat race number 1. Heat race number 2 now lining up onto the raceway. Brian Lawson in the number 9 machine will start to the pole position to the outside of the front row. The 161 car, Terry Landis from 2. Second row inside, the King Race Designs car number 79 machine of Dean Reynolds starts position number 3. And to the outside from position number 4, it's the 011 of Randall Dixon. Third row inside, the 25 of Gary Sigelko in. And to his outside in the 107 machine of Jason Coffey from 6. Then you go back to Butch Baker in the 97 machine. He'll start from position number 7. However, we know Sigelko did not make the call, so now move Butch Baker up to the 5th starting position. That's 6 cars, sorry. 6 cars on the racetrack for what is heat race number 2 here at Cedar Lake Speedway. Again, looking forward to the remainder of this night. A huge night. Huge night here on Ultimate Dirt TV. We'll explain more. Green flag is outrun away, and Lawson leads from Reynolds. Baker trying to get by Randall Dixon through that third and fourth turn as Terry Landis now. Well, slipping back was the 161 machine of Landis, and now finds himself in the 5th position. 2 down, 6 to run for Brian Lawson. Track still need to be worked in right now. Hopefully once the third heat race is done, and then once they have that 3-minute warm-up session, hopefully the track is going to be a little bit slicker for tonight's 30-lap main event. It's still Brian Lawson continuing to lead in that Super Dirt Car Series. Venom Racing, car number 9 machine out in front. Then you go back to the King Race Designs, Full Throttle Motorsports, 79 car of Dean Reynolds. There is the 011 of Randall Dixon, followed by the 97 of Butch Baker. We're past half race distance right now, and there'll be just three laps left to go. Here at Cedar Lake, and Landis looks to close in right now on 4th place driver of Butch Baker down through the 1st and 2nd turn, but Baker, he's good there on the exit of turn number 2. Meanwhile, closing in on your race leader is Dean Reynolds. Lawson still your race leader with just 2 laps left to run. Look at Reynolds trying to go around the outside of Butch Baker. Couldn't complete the pass. Coming to the white flag here in heat race number 2. Just 1 lap left to go. High above the racetrack we go through 1 and 2. There's 1st and 2nd place. Back straight away for the final time. Down into turn number 3. Up for turn number 4. Checkered flag. Brian Lawson will win heat race number 2. Second will go to Dean Reynolds. Third at the line is going to be Butch Baker. Terry Landis home in 4th. Then we go back to Jason Coffey in 5th. And Randall Dixon will come home 6th. And of course, Gary Sigelko, we know, did not make the start of heat race number 2. Heat number 3, final heat race of the evening for the Coast to Coast Racing League and Gambler Motorsports. Thursday Night Thunder, Patrick Spangler will start the pole position in car number 39. To the outside of the front row, driving the Swan Speed Shop 83 car of Dylan Kinsey from position number 2. From position number 3, it's the 88 of Dan McLaren. From 4, it's the 17 of Mark Gilbert. From position number 5, it's the 28 of Jeff Sharp. From position number 6, it's the 200 of Jeff Flaro. And your 7th and final starter in car 32, that is Anthony Morano. To line up this 3rd and final heat race of the evening. And how about the drivers that finish 1st and 2nd? In the top-notch trucking 358 modifieds, they start 3rd and 1st. So McLaren, of course, getting the win from Patrick Spangler. In the main event of your 358 modifieds. Now, of course, we turn our attention to the big blocks. Who will get the job done here in what is heat race number 3? Wait for the lights and the safety car. They are in. We are green down into turn number 1 and 2. And already we go 3 wide sharp to the inside of McLaren as McLaren gets to the inside of Kinsey. And they race down into turns 3 and 4. Once again, 3 wide once again through turns 3 off turn 4. And now here comes Mark Gilbert in the 17. We go 3 wide again. Almost 4 wide for the runner-up position. 2 by 3 by 2 right now. What a way to start heat race number 2. Kinsey to the inside on Spangler as they work down the front straight away. McLaren going to go around. He'll go on the grass. No yellows in heat racing competition. Dylan Kinsey takes over the race lead. Spangler trying to drive back around the outside of him in that 39 machine as Mark Gilbert in car number 17 finds himself in position number 3. Jeff Sharp, Anthony Morano will battle it out for that 4th and 5th position down the back straightaway. Gilbert now coming after the runner-up spot. Oh, Patrick Spangler. Halfway home here in the final heat race of the night. What a chaotic start to the opening. What was 3 laps? It was 2 and 3 and 4 1. Oh no, Gilbert Spangler come together. Spangler's just going to park it up. No, he's going to keep it going. There was contact between himself and Gilbert. He didn't want to finish in front of Gilbert, so tip of the cap right there to Patrick Spangler. But right now, tip of the green, 2 to run right now for the 83. This one Speed Shop driver. This one Speed Shop 83 car of Dylan Kinsey. Gilbert will go back to the pits, as does Patrick Spangler. Meanwhile, that will elevate Dan McLaren to the 5th finishing position right now, but the white flag is out. 1 lap left to run for the 83 of Dylan Kinsey. Will start inside the 2nd row of tonight's main event. He finds himself down the back straight away into corner number 3. Off for corner number 4. Checkered flag and waving. Barney the racing flag says that's enough, folks. We are done for heat race number 3. Dylan Kinsey will grab the win from Anthony Morano. 3rd, we'll go to Jeff Sharp. Jeff Flower home in 4th. Dan McLaren 5th. And 6th, we'll go to Mark Gilbert. Followed by Patrick Spangler in position number 7. We'll take a look at those results very, very quickly before we throw it to our warm-up. And before we take a quick break, there it is. Kinsey, Morano, Sharp, your top 3. Flower and McLaren, your top 5. Gilbert and Spangler will come home 6th and 7th, which means warm-up session is upon us. And that, of course, means we take a quick break here on Ultimate Dirt TV and on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. On the other side of this, your 30-lap A main event.
The reverse for Lucy Olsen. She has her first point.
Yeah, Lucy Olsen, talented sophomore.
And we are back here on Ultimate Dirt TV and on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It is Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Summer Season Week number 11 live from the Cedar Lake Speedway. Good evening, race fans. Brett Wheeler with you for the call as we get set for your main event. As we take a look at your starting grid, Kurt Schatzer on the pole position to the outside of the front row. Brian Lawson from position number 2. Dylan Kinsey lines up at a position number 3. Jeffrey Barker from position number 4. Position number 5, it's the 79 of Dean Reynolds. From 6, the 32 of Anthony Morano. From 7, the 5 of Isaac Salas. From 8, the 97 of Butch Baker. From 9, the 28 of Jeff Sharp. From 10, the 7 of Bob DeGood. From 11, the 161 of Terry Landis. From 12, the 200 of Jeff Flaro. From 13, the 007 of Michael Vecchio. From 14, the 107 of Jason Coffey. From 15, the 88 of Dan McLaren. From 16, the 93 of Jason Butterfield. From 17, the 011 of Randall Dixon. From 18, the 17 of Mark Gilbert. From 19, the 18 of Logan Wentz. From 20, the 25 of Gary Sigelco. Not here. From 21, the 39 of Patrick Spangler. And from position number 22, it's the 31 of Brandon Templeton. We're getting ready to go racing here at the Cedar Lake Speedway. Gambler Motorsports, Thursday Night Thunder as they work down the back straightaway. Ladies and gentlemen, your catalytic recovery, big block modifieds, Gambler Motorsports, Thursday Night Thunder, summer season, week number 7, big block modifieds, main event. Let's get dirty for 30 as the green flag waves. They go down into turn number 1 and 2. Schatzer, Lawson to the outside. It's a drag race down the back straightaway. Early lots of 2x2 and 3 wide as Barker to the outside. And just like what we've seen in your 358 modifieds, we see the caution come out on lap number 1. Caution will come out on lap number 1. So we can see the identical repeat there from what was the start of that the start of the 358 modifieds. It's exactly how it happened in the big blocks. Well, we'll have to try it once again for the big blocks. And again, who will come out on top? Schatzer and Lawson once again on the front row. Field is doubled up once more. We're getting ready to go back green off turn 4. It's Lawson and Schatzer. Back to green we go. Schatzer's got the advantage this time. Oh, no problems for Dean Reynolds in the 79. Everybody's still rolling. And everybody will keep it under power, which means we stay racing. 2 down, 28 to go. It's still Schatzer to continue to lead the way. Meanwhile, Dylan Kinsey's now found his way up to position number 3 as Jeffrey Barker looks right through the middle of the racetrack. Morano and Baker are right there sniffing at the heels of the 513 car of Jeffrey Barker. Kinsey still works to the inside again, winner of heat race number 3. Still trying to make that inside line work as we've got about to be 5 in the books. We're still live for almost 25 to go. Yeah, we're still live for 25 off turn 4. Barker's now going to move to position number 3 as Morano now looks to set his sights on the tail tank in the right rear of not only the 83 car but the 513 of Barker. He nearly made it 3 wide down into turn number 3, almost 3 wide off the 4th turn. Kinsey, Morano, side by side. Baker still got the best seat in the house to watch this battle unfold as Barker tries to clear away from Morano and Kinsey down through 3 and 4. Lawson still trying to track down your race leader. And again, it's a carbon copy of what we've seen in the 358 modified. So once again, the caution will come out with 22 to go. And I think from here on out, I think going back to the 358 modified main event, I'm pretty sure that we actually went nearly all the way right up until what was a green-white checker. So we'll see if we can do exactly what the 358's done. And again, only time will tell. Time will tell here at Cedar Lake. Lights still flashing. And they get the 1 to green signal right now. As Kurt Schatzer is going to choose the outside line. And again, for the people that are just joining us, if you haven't seen how it all works, basically it's real simple. Leader will get to choose inside or outside. Everybody else will go where iRacing tells them to. Unless you are that second place car, you will go to the other lane as to where the leader does not choose. 8 down and 22 to run here at Cedar Lake Speedway. He waits very late to jump on the throttle, wait pretty much until the green flag can just come out. And again, he's got the race lead. Hats off to everybody. How many times will you see everybody try and jump that start? Meanwhile, speaking of trying to jump stuff, Anthony Morano trying to jump up a couple of positions. He'll now go to the 3rd spot. Here comes Baker. Flurry now down to the inside. Barker getting shuffled back. He'll go 3-1 as Brendan Templeton bobbed a good either side of the 513 car. Dan McLaren just working to the inside of the racetrack as well. He's found his way to a top 10 position right now as Morano to the inside. That's the 32 car, the black and blue car down the back straightaway. Just in front of the KISS 97 entry of Butch Baker. Kinsey to the outside in the 83. He's found his way back to the 3rd spot. 19 laps left to run. Your main event. Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Summer Season Week number 6 here with the Coast to Coast Racing League and live on Ultimate TV and live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Baker now gets by the 32 car of Anthony Morano. Floro still finds himself just outside the top 5 and 6 position as Brandon Templeton follows suit in 7th. Templeton got a little bit high down on the entry down into turn number 1, but here comes Morano back to the inside on Baker down into 3 and 4. Baker outside, Morano inside, side by side one more time. At the start finish line for Kurt Schatzer. It'll be cross flag sticks halfway home, 15 down and 15 to run, but this battle on for 4th and 5th position right now is certainly an absolute barn burner of a race. And again, it's Baker has found his way back to position number 4. Morano, you know he wants the spot back. Keep an eye just to the back of that screen. And the battle that we're watching right now, it's the black, green and white machine. It's the 31 car, Brandon Templeton, as he closes in on the back of the 200 car of Jeff Floro. And Templeton looks very, very strong right now in that 31, the Dirt Track Banks GY6RN machine. To the top shelf into 1, off for turn number 2, he gets to the outside on the 200 car, Jeff Floro. Meanwhile, Morano and Baker will once again go side by side. I think Morano may have had it at the start-finish line. Oh, what a battle. You got 4 cars battling it out for positions 4, 5, 6, and 7. They are put into 2 packs of 2 right now. McLaren trying to move there on Barker, but Barker drives away from him. Kinsey in that 83 car trying to close in. He's half a second away from runner-up driver of Brian Lawson. 20 down, 10 laps left to run here in the main event. And Kurt Schatzer, boy, look at him out in front all alone. Oh boy, Baker's gonna go around. He keeps it going. We stay green. Hats off to Baker. He could have just parked it. Oh no, Landison's going to go around in front of Vecchio. And we'll go yellow with what will be 8 to run. It started with Vecchio and it ends with Landis. And puts us under yellow flag conditions. And how does this change things with the tyre wear on these race cars? I guess we're about to find out here at the Cedar Lake Speedway. My, oh my. Landis will go back to the pits. He'll get a quick repair. He'll come back out onto the racetrack. He'll have to tag up to the tail end of the field. Jeff Sharp out of the event in 20th, 19th, Isaac Salas. We see Mark Gilbert a couple of laps down in position number 18. So still ironically 17 cars left on the racing surface, and inside the last 10 laps, the field goes single file restarts. So it's the 218 of Kurt Schatzer. Very, very good here at Cedar Lake Speedway. Again, sun still shining bright on this racetrack. Here we go, coming back to green off turn number 4. Basically a heat race distance away from this main event to wrap it up, and we're back underway. Kurt Schatzer, Brian Lawson, and Dylan Kinsey. That's your top 3. Morano along with Jeff Floro to round out your top 5. DeGood coming after Templeton right now. Bob DeGood move him to position number 6. Templeton will go back and get shuffled to position number 7. Barker in 8th. McLaren 9th, and Dean Reynolds rounds out the top 10. And yellow for what will be just another lap and a half in the book, so and essentially make it 2 laps into the book. So just 6 laps left to run. We know once you get towards the back end of the feature event, some people might just start to get a little bit more desperate, or the tyres just start to go away from underneath their race cars. I've got to say, the man out in front, the 218 car of Kurt Schatzer, he's really been the driver to beat here in the main event of the Catalytic Recovery Big Block Modified main event. Huge thanks to Catalytic Recovery, of course, top-notch trucking earlier on with the 358s, and also Flatline Racing bodies. Thursday Night Thunder, Gambler Motorsports, Summer Season Week number 11. Here at Cedar Lake Speedway. Next week, final week of competition for this summer season. And next week, we will travel to the sprint car capital of the world, the Knoxville Raceway, for the final round of the series. But for now, we've got to get the final 6 laps into the books. Safety car is about to come in. The Steve King Foundation safety car is off, and we are underway with Kurt Schatzer. And the Dirt Track Banks GY6RN 218 machine is good through 1 and 2. Lawson, 3/10 of a second, now make it 2/10 of a second. Boy, really closed in there. Handful of laps left to run. Schatzer, Lawson, Kinsey, now Morano trying to dive it down to the inside of turn number 2. He got it down to the inside of into turn number 1, I should say, but with just 4 laps left to run. Templeton getting by Bob DeGood, but Bob DeGood comes back after him now down into turn number 1. Morano still trying to make the inside line work, trying to get by Dylan Kinsey. It is still Kurt Schatzer, and you've got to think, as long as he can keep the car nice and straight, we don't think anybody is going to have anything for the 218 car. Looking for a dominating performance here at Cedar Lake Speedway. Tip of the green, 2 to run for the 218 of Kurt Schatzer, and we go to overtime in a green-white checker one more time, just exactly like what we've seen in the top-notch trucking 358 modified main event. And just how are the nerves right now for the top 3? Morano's going to need somewhat of a miracle or a very good restart to get by Dylan Kinsey in that 83 for the third spot. And again, it all comes back down to what could be this final restart here at Cedar Lake Speedway in the penultimate round of your Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder. Just have a look at the way Brian Lawson just rolls the bottom, just having a look down there just to see if anything's down there, whether he's going to make up his mind or whether he's trying to get into the head of the 218 car of your race leader of Kurt Schatzer. Again, Lawson maybe just circulating around, just having a look, going, oh, you know what, I might be able to try this one. Because when you've only got 2 laps left to run, you really have to get up on the wheel and go for it from the get-go. You will, and you cannot die wondering. Or, as he looked down there and thought, well, you know what, if I just take a second spot, I'll consolidate a good points night. Only time will tell. Green, white, checker is all that separates Kurt Schatzer from the main event winner. Schatzer got an absolute fantastic start. And Lawson goes to the top side, so he obviously tried to play some mind games there with your race leader. Meanwhile, Morano down to the inside on Kinsey through turns number 3 and 4. They get to the white flag. 1 lap left to go for your race leader of Kurt Schatzer. We will race it out till the start-finish line and down the back straight away for the final time. Your Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Summer Season Week number 11 Big Block Modified main event winner goes to Kurt Schatzer. Kurt Schatzer will get the win in the A main. Second will go to Brian Lawson. Third of the line is going to be Dylan Kinsey. Anthony Morano 4th. Jeff Floro rounds out your top 5. Bob DeGoodhome in 6th. Brandon Templeton 7th. Jeffrey Barker in 8th. 9th will go to Dean Reynolds. Butch Baker rounds out your top 10. We'll go back through the page. In 11th position is going to be Logan Wentz, Michael Vecchio 12th, Jason Butterfield 13th, Randall Dixon 14th, 15th is Terry Landers, 16th Jason Coffey in the last car on the lead lap, Dan McLaren in 17th, Mark Gilbert 18th, Isaac Salas 19th, Jeff Sharp in position number 20 with Gary Sigelco and Patrick Spangler, of course, not making the grid for tonight's main event. Well, the doubleheader is done here on Ultimate Dirt TV and on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We are going to chat to our top 3 of Kurt Schatzer, Brian Lawson and Dylan Kinsey. Once we get those drivers out of the cockpits of their race car, once they are ready to go, we'll of course bring them in, we'll chat to them, and then we'll, of course we'll throw it over to, I believe, Travis Piercefield, who will have the call of the NASCAR Next Gen Cup Series. But home in 3rd place tonight in car number 83, it is Dylan Kinsey. Dylan, congratulations on 3rd place. Well, you picked up the heat win. You started 3rd. You stay there for nearly all of that race. And, well, you must be happy with how this one finished up.
Oh, yeah, definitely happy. 2nd podium in a row. Moreno was running me hard. We were running hard together. I was running him tight on purpose. I knew he was there. But it was a good race. Moreno kept me honest the whole time. I was knocking on Lawson's door, but I just couldn't get it done.
Couple of late yellows. You guys had a good green flag run there in the middle part of that race. Couple of late yellows. What goes through your mind there when you see those late yellows with only, a handful of laps left to go, and then of course a green white checker to finish us off?
Myself, I get a little nervous because I know the guys behind me are going to be on attack mode, which they should. I would be too. So you just got to hit your marks and make sure you don't slip up and get into the couple guys in front of you.
Well, Dylan, you come away with the 3rd place, as you said, a 2nd podium in a row here on Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder. This time you do it here at the Cedar Lake Speedway. Congratulations on this 3rd place. But before we let you go, Dylan, we'll let you thank everybody involved on this number 83 machine.
Oh, yeah, thanks to you, Brett, for doing a broadcast coast to coast. Everyone, all the drivers, everyone that races, Swan Speed Shop and open races, Dean Reynolds, Super Dirt Car, everyone that puts this together.
Dylan Kinsey home in 3rd spot. Home in 2nd spot tonight is going to be the 9 car of Brian Lawson. Brian, congratulations on the runner-up finish. And, well, he was just too good at the start and too good at the end. You'll have to settle for a 2nd spot. You can't be too disappointed with that one.
Oh no, definitely not. I'm more disappointed in that first caution because that when that caution came out with at lap 2, one more lap and I had him. I was holding him down low and it was slick down there, and and I was right in the fresher stuff and getting some grip, and and then that caution came out and I knew darn well he was going to choose the outside, and I don't blame him. I would have too. But he ran a great race. It was a fun race. A little bit of a makeup from my foobar in the 358 when I clipped the wall running 6 with 1 to go or whatever it was. But no, good run. Actually, both of them were really fun races.
At this track, compared to the heat races, it was really sort of tacky in the heat races, but towards that main event, it really started to slicken off. Did you feel comfortable anywhere on the racetrack?
Yeah, kind of 2/3 of the way up. It seemed like the very top groove was a little on the slick side, but just below that there was a lot of traction, and then below that it was just all slick. So, it would have been tough if nobody made a mistake. It would have been tough to pass. Whether it be Dylan passing me or me passing Kurt, one of us would have had to make a mistake because it was pretty much just a 1-lane groove.
Yeah. Brian, well done on second place here at the Cedar Lake Speedway in the Thursday night Thunder Gambler Motorsports. Catalytic Recovery, Big Block Modifieds. Brian, before we let you go, we'll let you thank everybody involved on this number 9 machine.
Yeah, got to thank you for the broadcast, Coast to Coast Racing League, for doing such a good job. Dean with the Super Dirt Car Series, got to give them a huge shout out. Dirt Vision, Pine Plains Auto Body, and my guys at Venom, man. We have a blast racing together, and couldn't do it without them.
Brian, well done on second place. We'll see you back next week at Knoxville for the final race of the season.
All right, thanks, Brett.
Brian Lawson home in second spot. Home in first place tonight, driving the 218 machine. He was perfect all night long. Kurt Schatzer gets the win. Kurt, congratulations on this victory. You lead from start to finish. You must be thrilled with how this one finished up here at the Cedar Lake Speedway.
Oh, yeah, Brett, I'm thrilled to double up and get 2 back-to-back here. It feels great. Really stiff competition with the modifieds. I love coming out and racing with these guys each and every week.
I think we had a couple of late cautions towards the end of that one, but during that main event, just like what we've seen in the 358s, there was a lot of green flag. There was a lot of green flag laps there in the middle part, which allowed the course, the track to slicken off. How tough was it to pay attention to the racetrack to see what it was doing lap after lap?
Yeah, being out front, I was kind of worried about that a little bit. I tell you the truth, I just kind of really ran the same line the whole race there. I was waiting for it to might change, and maybe Lawson might have found something and get around me there. But I just tried to run smooth, keep it straight, and not spin the tires, and just concentrate on hitting my marks. And I had the easy seat out there in the front. Them guys get the racing back there. It allowed me to just stretch my lead out and concentrate on what I needed to do.
Yellow with about 4 to go, then yellow with 2 to go. What goes through your mind now on those final 2 cautions there to try and get this win?
Oh, man, I hate the cautions. I mean, I didn't want to see any of them come out. I felt like I was in a pretty good rhythm. I mean, I'm pretty much a rhythm driver. I mean, you throw them cautions in there, it kind of throws me out of whack. I was kind of worried with them late ones, worried about my tires. Maybe they might have iced over or something, and it took me a couple laps. It felt like for them to get the heat back in there, and I could really concentrate on hitting my marks and doing what I needed to do. But all in all, it was a good race. I'm happy to get that podium there, and we'll see how this points race shakes up. I feel like I'm a little bit behind there. I don't really think I'm in the hunt there, but just running third in points there, just trying to do what I can do to keep on the podiums each and every week.
Mate, we move to Knoxville next week, the sprint car capital of the world. And I mean, you obviously take good momentum going into that one. How do you feel about getting around the Knoxville Raceway in not only the 358s, but also the big block modifieds?
Well, Knoxville's a fun track. I mean, it's pretty nice to set people up for sliders. There's a lot of room on that track, or when the bottom locks down, is to hit your marks and to play with the throttle and hook that berm. You can make some good time up down there. But all in all, we're looking forward to the throwback race. And I was talking to Matt Shepard, and he's gonna bring his car out for me, and we're gonna make some laps in there and see what we can do.
Kurt, we look forward to seeing you back next week at the Knoxville Raceway, the sprint car capital of the world. But from the Cedar Lake Speedway here tonight, you get the victory in the big block modified thanks to Catalytic Recovery. We'll let you thank everybody involved on this 218 machine, Kurt.
Yeah, I got to thank Jay with the Dirt Track Bank and everything they do to help racers all around the country, different racing series, our racing team, Hammered Down Racing, with Brandon Templeton, Brian Dickens, and Joe Halter. Got Your Six Racing Network. You guys coming out and doing the broadcast. I love watching your broadcast there, Brett. This is awesome. Yeah, Roger, Coast to Coast, giving us a place to race. Everybody watching at home, and the wife and kids.
Kurt, well done on the win. We'll see you back next week at Knoxville Raceway for the Throwback Week.
Thank you, sir.
There we go. That was Kurt Schatzer, the main event winner here from the Cedar Lake Speedway for the Catalytic Recovery Big Block Modifieds. Don't forget, we've still got the NASCAR Next Gen Cup Series live here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We're just waiting on to see who we're going to throw it over to, whether it's Travis, whether it's Marty, who knows who is going to be on the call. We'll wait for that one. But for now, we will take this opportunity to step aside. We'll play an ad. We'll come back in a few moments' time, and we'll see where we are in regards to the NASCAR Next Gen Cup Series at Watkins Glen.
How about the reverse for Lucy Olsen? She has her first point.
Yeah, Lucy Olsen, talented sophomore.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
For Lucy Olson, she has her first point.
Yeah, Lucy Olson, talented sophomore.